What's up, guys? Mickle here, and one of the leading Bitcoin narratives out there is that Bitcoin isn't actually used for payments, it's more of a store of value. Guys, in this video, I want to go over why XRP not only is better for payments than Bitcoin, but it's also a better store of value. Guys, this is a narrative you will never hear in the mainstream media, so make sure to stick around for this whole thing. This is very important, and it will likely make you more confident in your XRP investment than ever. Towards the end of the video, I also want to go over some news with Tether. I want to give you guys my opinion on whether or not Tether is going to make it through the current bear market. We're also going to go over some more general Ripple and XRP news, so guys, make sure to stick around for this whole thing. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things really do go a very long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys are ever looking for a good place to buy and sell some XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description of this video. Uphold is my favorite exchange and a great place to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, real quick, moomoo has an insane holiday promotion going on right now. You could win up to 15 free stocks and a chance to win up to $60,000 if you sign up with moomoo using the link in the description of this video. Guys, I think you're kind of crazy not to at least try here. This is a lot of money. So guys, make sure to check that out. Moomoo's a regulated exchange. It's a great place to buy and sell stocks. Do not miss out on your opportunity to get some free money. So guys, let's jump into the video, and I want to start off with something that I think is really important to understand. A lot of times we look at the SEC and wonder, how are these people so corrupt? What is going through these people's heads? Why is it so hard for these people to understand cryptocurrency and understand they are holding back the innovation? Well, guys, take a look at this. This guy, John Reed Stark, is a former employee at the SEC, and what you will understand based on reading his Twitter feed is that the people at the SEC don't understand cryptocurrencies in the slightest. Take a look at this. Wow, Grayscale's crypto trust has suffered an 83% loss since Bitcoin peaked in 11/21, worse than the 74% slide of Bitcoin itself. Kudos SEC Gov for denying Grayscale's application for a Bitcoin ETF. You probably saved investors billions. Guys, this is absolutely insane to tweet out, especially as a former head of the SEC. The fact of the matter is there's no requirement for an ETF to go up, and the fact of the matter is Bitcoin is the best performing asset in history. This shows that there is a clear narrative at the SEC against cryptocurrencies, because while not everyone in the cryptocurrency industry necessarily agrees on their favorite cryptocurrencies, I think we all agree that Bitcoin has been a great performing asset, and the fact that the SEC thinks that it's somehow dangerous to hold Bitcoin as a retail investor is absolutely insane. The SEC has let so many Ponzi schemes, pump and dumps, and just straight up bad companies onto the New York Stock Exchange. They let retail investors buy these different scams, and yet they somehow feel obligated to protect us from one of the best performing assets of all time. It just shows that these different people at the SEC just hate cryptocurrencies. They'll never wrap their head around it. If you look at an all-time chart of Bitcoin and zoom out, you would say the SEC is protecting retail investors from making gains. It's absolutely insane that this guy thinks it's somehow valuable to zoom in on some crash in Bitcoin over the last 2 years and say, oh, because of this crash, you should have never owned Bitcoin throughout its entire history, when it's still up hundreds of thousands of percent. It just shows that they have a clear narrative against cryptocurrencies, and honestly, the sad part is it hasn't changed at all since this guy left. Now we're stuck with Gary Gensler, who is likely saying the same thing behind closed doors, and it's like we just cannot get the SEC to understand innovation in the slightest. They say they're technology neutral, but they take such a hard stance against cryptocurrencies. It's like, how does something like Mickle trade on the public markets that is a proven scam, and Bitcoin, the biggest cap cryptocurrency in the market, can't even get an ETF? It's not technology neutral. They have an agenda against cryptocurrencies, and honestly, reading tweets like this just makes it all the more clear. Now guys, on that same note, I want to show you this quick clip of Raoul Pal. I always like listening to what he has to say because he's actually a former Goldman Sachs analyst, so he definitely has a lot of different qualifications to be making statements on cryptocurrencies. Listen to what he has to say about Ripple, XRP, and the SEC, because I think once you have people like him talking like this, I think this is really what gets the attention of the mainstream media and really starts to put a lot of pressure on Gary Gensler. This guy is not some influencer. He worked within the system, and therefore he really does get a lot of weight in the things he says.
My actual argument is Gary Gensler is he's been so busy saying, we'll fight you when you do wrong. And he has not created a set of rules of which people need to abide by. And everybody's been asking him, and he's refused to do it. And now you get this. And I think, if there's somebody who should get fired for this, it's Gensler. Not because, oh my God, you didn't protect these individuals and it's all happened. It's not about the retrospective. It's like you failed to do your singular job, which is to regulate a space, and everybody, all the industry, Brian Armstrong, all of these people have been going to him endlessly saying, you need to do something about this. Even, the Brad Garling and the XRP Ripple guys have been saying you need a ruling because nobody can operate. And when nobody operates, the gray area happens, and it's this. And it's his fault for being so slow and being so aggressive without actually doing anything.
So guys, I think this is a great point made by Raoul Pal right here that kind of goes under the radar. We point out all these things that Gary Gensler has messed up so badly, but at the end of the day, one of the easiest things we can look at to say how bad of a job Gary Gensler has done is the fact that he has done absolutely nothing to make this industry safer for retail investors. All these different cryptocurrency companies are begging Gary Gensler for sensible regulations, and they haven't gotten anything. At the end of the day, this is one of the most pathetic parts about what Gary Gensler is doing. He acts like all these different crypto companies are trying to operate in the shadows. They're not. They are begging him for sensible regulations, and he won't give it to them. Just like I said earlier, all he wants to do is hold back the industry. He wants to try to prevent it from growing, and by refusing to give good companies legitimate regulations, and by not regulating bad companies who are clearly trying to take advantage of retail investors, not only does he hurt the technology, not only does he hurt cryptocurrency and America's competitiveness in the next generation financial system, but he's essentially launching a direct attack against retail investors, the very people he has an obligation to protect at his job at the SEC. So guys, now I want to move on and talk about a topic that I don't think gets enough attention, and this was actually brought up by Moon Lambo, and I think this is an extremely interesting point. He tweeted out, "This poll is for current XRP holders only. Is holding XRP as a store of value at least one reason you own it? Doesn't need to be your primary reason. If so, just at least a reason that you hold the asset." And I tweeted out in response to this, XRP being deflationary is the cherry on top of an incredible asset. Guys, Bitcoin maxis realized a long time ago that they had lost the race to creating a currency that's going to be used to transform our financial system. Bitcoin just cannot do it. The technology is just not there, and this forced a lot of Bitcoin maxis to completely flip the narrative. Now the narrative for Bitcoin is, oh, it's a store of value. Pretty funny considering they're pushing the Lightning Network as well, which is made for payments. Is it a store of value or is it for payments? It's really not that great at either, but I think it's important to point out that XRP is actually a better store of value than Bitcoin, but it's so slept on, it's never talked about, and people almost completely ignore it. People act like the fact that Ripple owns a lot of XRP and sells XRP makes XRP inflationary. That's not true at all. We all know how much XRP is out there in total, but the important part to note is that number is actually going down, and going down a lot faster than many people understand. First of all, XRP is burned in every single transaction, and that does not happen with Bitcoin. This automatically makes XRP a better store of value than Bitcoin. But then on top of that, and this actually affects XRP and Bitcoin, people lose wallet addresses all the time. There is going to be so many different cryptocurrencies that are just out of circulation from people simply losing their wallets. This makes XRP actually a very, very stable store of value. Its supply is always decreasing, and this is something that's actually pretty rare among major cryptocurrencies. The main reason this is so important to point out is because XRP is a better store of value than Bitcoin. It's also better for payments, and this is just so slept on because Bitcoin maxis always want to change the narrative. They always want to point to something that makes Bitcoin special, but at the end of the day, the only thing that makes Bitcoin special is that it was the first cryptocurrency. When it comes to technology, when it comes to an overall better network and a more sound asset, XRP checks all the boxes above Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin won't survive in the future. It just means that XRP has a place, and to ignore that very, very easy to understand concept is just insane. Bitcoin maxis who think XRP is for some reason going to go away because it's not Bitcoin are out of their mind. And when you just take a look at what's actually happening, it's very easy to understand that XRP is overall just a better asset. Guys, I want to finish this video off and quickly talk about Tether. Honestly, with all the craziness in the market going on right now, with all the different crypto companies going to zero, I personally think Tether is on the list of companies that are going to go down. This recent bear market has weeded out a lot of bad companies, and guys, I just don't see Tether surviving it. Ultimately, one of the biggest reasons for bear markets like this, and one of the biggest reasons we have seen different projects go under, it's the market naturally cleansing itself. It's getting rid of all the projects that were never going to make it. It's just cutting them out. And honestly, it's healthy. One of the biggest frauds out there is Tether. You don't have to look that much into it to realize they have some very sketchy people working at Tether. And it's very likely a lot of the things they're telling us aren't necessarily true. I honestly do think we have seen an all-time high on how much money is in Tether. We can see that it peaked in early 2022. Guys, I think this is only going to go down. And guys, I think it's almost impossible to predict if the Tether stablecoin is actually going to death spiral like Luna did. But I think it's very possible that Tether could simply be regulated out of existence and we can see the peg remain, but the amount of money in Tether just keep dropping and keep dropping until Tether is no longer significant to the market. Either way, I think this is a narrative we are going to see play out within the next year. People have been calling it forever. It's never happened. I don't see Tether surviving much longer. I'm very curious to know what you guys think though, so definitely let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.